Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us tonight and welcome to the Mesa Public Schools Virtual College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. My name is Brianna and I'll be your facilitator. Before we get started, a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening today. I hope you enjoyed the previous two sessions and all of the events yesterday. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescans.com/Greater Arizona. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, Cornish College of the Arts.
Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you. I'm going to share my screen real quick. There we go. How are we doing? My name is Christopher Walker, and I'm an admissions counselor at Cornish College of the Arts. I know my colleague Albert was with us last evening in a different session, and so hope to be doing as well as he did. Cornish is the premier visual and performing arts college in the Pacific Northwest. We are located in the heart of downtown Seattle, Washington. We're more than 100 years old, and we are one of the few arts colleges in the country where both the visual and performing arts study together. It can be like one of the two, but we have this really great, cool, collaborative environment in which it is both. This is our founder, Nellie Cornish, and she and the many teaching artists who followed her believed in innovative education through exposure to all of the arts. This led to some of the greatest innovations in the arts during the early 20th century. It shaped much of how we create and appreciate work today and helped to put the Pacific Northwest on the map as a thriving arts community. Noting some of the legendary folks that came through the school here amongst our music, visual art, dance, and everything else. Our mission here at Cornish is to provide students aspiring to become practicing artists with an educational program of the highest possible quality in an environment that nurtures creativity and intellectual curiosity while preparing them to contribute to society as artists, citizens, and innovators. We realize this mission by offering baccalaureate studies in the performing and visual arts and by serving as a focal point for public presentation, artistic criticism, participation, and discussion of the arts itself. Our degrees are designed to build the skills you'll need to navigate the professional landscapes of the 21st century, and we'll be educating you in critical thinking, creative problem solving, collaboration, and the generation of new work. When we get to the Q&A at the end of this session today, I'll talk a little bit about how these things can really help you, as not just for the now, but for the future. Here at Cornish, you'll be focusing on traditional, interdisciplinary, and experimental art forms. And your faculty at Cornish are all professional working artists themselves and committed mentors. They maintain their thriving careers in their respective fields, as well as all of the industry connections, and this provides them with all the knowledge and skills necessary to train artists of the 21st century. The Cornish community, thus, is a very small and tight-knit community with a focus on small classes, mentorship, and personalized instruction. We have an average class size of 13 and a faculty to student ratio of 1:7. Artists studying at Cornish get the individualized and personal instruction that they need and desire in developing their own sense as artists within our fields. Seattle, of course, is one of the world's epicenters for the visual and performing arts, making it an ideal city to pursue your artistic education. And I love this part of this slide because you get to see like the three different parts. Our main campus right in downtown Seattle. This is an urban campus located right in the heart within everything that makes Seattle what it is. We're immersed within the arts and culture of the city. Seattle houses some of the country's best live music, theater, and dance companies, a popular music scene that is legendary and has garnered national and international attention, about 20 live theater venues, and Pioneer Square, one of the country's most prominent art gallery districts. Seattle is also home to the Fifth Avenue Theater, Seattle International Film Festival, Seattle Art Museum, and the Upstream and Bumbershoot Music Festivals, just to name a few. Essentially, Seattle itself is a thriving professional community for practicing artists and designers, and Cornish has been at the forefront of the Seattle creative scene for more than 100 years. Our exact main center of campus is located within Seattle's South Lake Union District. We are surrounded by creative agencies, architecture and design firms, many nonprofits, and within walking distance of prominent creative spaces for art and culture. You'll find our alumni, faculty, and students, even our staff, making bold, innovative work all over town. Students at Cornish have access to a variety of state-of-the-art creative and performing spaces that are available to use by all of our majors, regardless of discipline. I particularly love this. I'm a musician and composer myself, but I also do some design and video work. And so were I to begin again and get a degree at Cornish, I could at both have my music spaces, but if I needed to make a poster for a gig, I have as much access to the screen printing lab or the typography lab as a visual arts major would. To our visual artists, they're making art in individual and shared studios, materials labs, editing and recording suites, and more with access to all manner of state-of-the-art technology. While our performing artists rehearse, perform, and learn in a wide array of practice spaces, black box studios, historic concert halls, and the iconic Cornish Playhouse located within Seattle Center, a complex that is most famously noted for housing the Space Needle and our new revamped Climate Pledge Arena. Currently, Cornish trains students from 38 states and 18 countries, and many of them choose to live in the Cornish Commons, which is our state-of-the-art 20-story residence hall built with artists in mind. The Commons features plenty of space and special amenities like private baths in every single dorm room, movement studios, practice rooms, and an art studio. And then the 20th floor is reserved just for residents, boasting amazing views of the city in all directions. And whenever we're doing in-person tours, I tell people this is like the sharp inhale moment when they round that corner and they see the view off our 20th floor. Cornish College of the Arts offers BFAs, Bachelor of Fine Arts degrees in these areas that you see here. And then as well as Bachelor of Fine Arts and Performing Arts within dance, musical theater, acting, original works, and performance production. And then Bachelor of Music degrees and Bachelor of Arts degrees. In the 2019-20 year, we were one of the first colleges in the country to lower our tuition by 20% with a mindfulness of access to this sort of degree. We have a very keen focus on making sure that this sort of education has a wide availability to everyone. Students interested in applying to Cornish can go to apply.cornish.edu/apply, or we can go through the Common App as well. Priority consideration, of course, is given to students who apply for admission financial aid by our early action deadline of December 1, and all those applying for scholarship consideration should apply by February 15th. After the February 15th deadline, applications will be considered on a space available basis. I see Brianna here, so I know my time is wrapping up. Thank you all so much for listening, and I'll be around for the Q&A, and we'll drop some links in the chat.
Thank you so much, Christopher. Next up, we will hear from Design Institute of San Diego.
Perfect. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Hi, everybody. My name is Savannah. I am the admissions director at the Design Institute of San Diego. The Design Institute of San Diego is, of course, located in beautiful San Diego. If you've never been, I highly recommend. It's very coastal, it's very beautiful, and a lot of opportunity for you who are interested in the creative arts. A little bit about Design Institute of San Diego. We are founded in 1977, so we've been here for almost about 45 years, and we are solely focused on interior design. So interior design is the only major and master's classes that we teach here. So we are very specialized. So if you love creative, if you love the arts, if you love interior design, it could be a great place for you. Our Bachelor's of Fine Arts degree is a 4-year program. It can be done in a little bit of less time. We are happy to look at your transcripts, and we also have a master's program if you're interested in continuing education after you get your bachelor's degree here. And we are, of course, accredited by WASC and CETA. WASC is an accreditation council for California schools, which is really important. And then CETA is an accreditation for interior design schools. That's extremely important if you want to be an interior designer. We have both day and evening schedules, so we are very flexible. We really want this to work in your schedule. So we have tons of students who work full-time, go to school full-time, and still make it work. So we're happy to kind of adjust your schedule on what works best for you. As far as some facts about us, our placement rate is 84%. So what that means is 84% of our students have jobs before they graduate our program. We do have an internship experience that's required while you're in school, where you'll be able to work with a real interior designer architecture firm of your choice. You work there throughout an entire semester. So usually our students are offered a job through their internships. So I think that really relates to our high placement rate. Our retention rate is 89%. That means 89% of our students start the program and finish the program. And our graduation rate is 89%, which means 89% of our students graduate the program. Something that's really unique about the Design Institute of San Diego is that all of our faculty and staff are working interior designers or architects. So you are learning firsthand from people who work in the industry full-time, really are passionate about the interior design field, and are interested in your success as a student. Our externship experience, which I mentioned before, is required. It's a great opportunity to get hands-on experience. We set everything up for you. We make sure that you have a resume that's up to date, you know, interviewing skills, and that you're set up to have success at the time that you'll get your internship. As far as campus life goes, we are student focused here. So every student here comes to Design Institute because they love interior design. They're interested in pursuing that field. So you have something in common with everybody on day one as soon as you get here. It's a very intimate classroom setting. We have about 15 to 22 students per classroom. Our promise is that you'll never have a class larger than 22. So you really have a chance to get to know your professors on a professional level, your peers on a personal level. So it's really easy to build a community and network while you're here on day one. We do have 2 professional chapters on campus, IAAD and ASAD. They're student chapters that are for professionals. So you do get to meet interior design professionals, alumni, people who are famous in the industry, and they do meet about once a month. So lots of ways to build your professional network while you're here and get involved. We also have many different clubs on campus. If you're interested in yoga or soccer or anything like that, you can always start a club, but we have many different ones here on campus for those who are interested in different things. All of our classes are going to be studio and project-based classes. So they're all going to be based on interior design. They're very hands-on, very project-based. We have an amazing materials lab here on campus that's filled floor to ceiling with textiles, anything that you could imagine for all of your projects, and it's all free for students. So a great place to go for inspiration. And then we do something here called Classroom Without Walls. So anytime your teachers can get you out of the classroom and into the industry working with professionals and working on projects, they'll take that advantage. Where we're located in San Diego is considered the design district. So it's a little bit more industrial around us just because that's where all the manufacturers are and the warehouses. So it's easy for us to get you out there and working at firms as soon as possible. As far as a curriculum goes, it is a 4-year bachelor's degree. If you do want to go to school year round throughout the summer, you can get done in a little bit quicker of time. But it's set up just like a standard 4-year program. The one difference about our program is that you don't have to wait to take your major classes until your junior year. You can take your design classes on day one, and we weave the general education classes throughout the curriculum. So you only take about 1 or 2 general education classes each semester, and then the rest are going to be design focused. Our general education classes are also going to be more geared towards interior design. So for example, your English composition class is a mandatory class you'll have to take at any university. Here it's going to be more geared towards the design aspect. So it's a little bit more digestible if you're interested in design. As far as financial aid goes, we do accept financial aid. Our director here, her name is Jackie Gloria. She works with each student individually on a personalized plan, making sure this fits into your budget. She's been here for about 23 years, so she really knows the full encompass and can really help guide you and make this something that works for you. We always recommend submitting a FAFSA, a financial aid. This way we can see what you qualify for, and then we can go over your scholarship options as well. We have many different scholarship options, especially for students who have some credits already. Lots of different opportunities for you to help pay with those. As far as the application process go, it's pretty seamless. You would just apply on our website, Design Institute of San Diego. It's a $25 fee, which goes towards your tuition if you are accepted into the program. What is included are 2 essays, 2 references, and then of course we'll need your high school and college transcripts. Once we have your transcripts, we're happy to look them over and make you a personalized curriculum plan and tell you exactly what you'd be taking each semester and how long it would take to graduate. And we can do that before you apply as well. So if you're interested in just seeing what we would accept and making a plan, you could always send it my way, and I'm happy to make you one. I will make sure that everyone has my information, but if you ever have any questions, I'm happy to help. Or if you're ever interested in coming for a tour to see our campus and some student work, I'm happy to do that as well. I will pass it back over to Brianna.
Thank you so much, Savannah. Up next, we do have Santa Clara University.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you all very much for tuning in this evening. My name is Lorenzo Gamboa. I'm one of the directors of admission at Santa Clara. It's an honor to be here with all of you today. We first like to acknowledge that we actually sit on the traditional homelands of the Ohlone Muwekma tribe, who have traced their ancestry back to the missions Dolores, Santa Clara, and San Jose, where we're located. We constantly give thanks and praise for allowing us to work, learn, and pray on their traditional homelands. And hopefully we pay respect to their elders of the past, present, and future. So with that, I do want to let you know, I am an alumnus of this campus, so the information you're going to hear in the next 5.5 minutes, extremely biased. Santa Clara is the oldest university in the state of California. We've been around since 1777, became a university in 1851. So that's really nice and convenient for a lot of the students who are looking at us, because we are located right in the heart of Silicon Valley. Your neighbor here, Google, Yahoo, Lockheed, eBay, NASA, Young, KBY, Pricewaterhouse, Deloitte, Netflix, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Tesla, Electronic Arts and Video, you name it, it's all here. Because of that, I currently have more job offers, more internship offers than actually current students enrolled on this campus. And so we bring students from literally every aspect of the world here. Almost 50% of the student body is from in-state, 50% is from out-of-state. So you're going to be in here, you're going to be mixing with anybody and everybody that's out there. Now, what makes this a little bit different is that this is a Catholic Jesuit institution. So what does that mean? That means that for me, it's not just simply about flexing your mind and making sure that you have the capacity to make it done, but also flexing and making sure that you understand how your body, your spirit, and everything interacts with everything that you're doing. For us, it's more importantly about how do you pay it forward? What are you doing that makes it unique and available for everybody that's out there for us, okay? Now, do you have to be religious here? No. 50% of student body tells me they're religious. 50% comes from every other denomination, except for during finals week when everybody's praying to pass their classes. But I do tell students, you do have to understand everything that's out there and available for you. Right now at Santa Clara, we're about 5,500 undergraduates, 3,000 graduates, average class about 23 to 24, 11-to-1 faculty student ratios with impressive retention rates, and most students being able to graduate in 4 years. Again, what's more impressive is not just 4 years, but most of them are double majoring, double minoring, studying abroad, and accomplishing all of that in 4, which is crazy. The ones that tend to mess up my numbers, my business, my engineers, because they get to do what's called a 4+1, and in 5 years, wrap up a master's and a bachelor's degree. So it's okay that they keep messing up my numbers. Engineers, you're the only ones that can do PhDs at Santa Clara if that's what you wish to do. Now, very Socratic, very interpersonal, and we were started actually as a liberal arts school. So for those guys who are interested in the arts, definitely check out this campus. But if you're very into the science, technologies, and all that fun stuff, then we do all that as well here on this campus. We, other than the academics, we are 20 Division I sports, 19 club sports, and over 150 clubs and organizations at Santa Clara University. So when I travel, everybody's always asking me, what are you looking for? Plain and simple. I want students who can challenge the faculty, challenge the staff to become better, take on the opportunities that Santa Clara has to offer you, but at the same time, go paint your face and get on ESPN every once in a while. Your housing options, ridiculously nice. Again, you'll have restrooms, you'll have all that fun stuff available to you. The big challenge for you is your freshman 15, your freshman 40. It's going to happen on this campus. We love eating here. So I always tell you, get involved. That's why 75 to 80% of our students are involved in some type of intramural sport every single quarter. Again, it is the Bay Area. This is the most culturally diverse place in the world you will ever get to live in and experience, because all the cultures, all the languages, and definitely all the food you can taste 24/7 accessible to you while studying at Santa Clara. We are on the Common App. We are direct entry for 3 major programs: arts and sciences, business, and engineering. It's up to you what you decide to apply for. The challenge is the capacity. I'll bring in 60% of the entering class to arts and science, only 25% of you in a business, and only 15% of you in engineering. Doesn't matter which program you're in. I have more job offers, more internship offers than actually current students enrolled. So take a look at the details while you're on the website. This is the most important slide of this deck for this evening. So please, if you have the time and opportunity, go ahead and take a snapshot or a picture of this so that you guys can see it and then keep it. I am very transparent on the expectations that we're looking for here at Santa Clara University. We are test optional this year and next year, but if you can take them and send them to me, it's just added information I get to review for you. Deadlines are coming up: November 1st for early decision, early action, January 7th for regular decision and ED2. If you want optimal consideration of packaging, please submit FAFSA and the CSS profile. Cannot stress that enough. Do not miss the deadlines. Do not leave any money out there, regardless of what institution you're looking for. And then last but not least, please feel free to connect with us on all different platforms. Connect with alumni, connect with students, connect with faculty, staff, whatever it is, so that you guys can find out which ones are going to be the best campuses for each and every one of you. And with that, thank you very much for looking at our presentation. turn it over to my colleagues at UNR. So.
Thank you so much, Lorenzo. Next up, we'll have University of Nevada, Reno.
All right, hello everyone. We are in reference to where we just were in Santa Clara. We're heading a little bit east into the state of Nevada. So my name is Shayler to start. I am the admissions counselor for the University of Nevada, Reno. So we're located in Reno, Nevada, which is about 45 minutes from Lake Tahoe. We're also about 2 hours east of Sacramento, if that maybe puts a little bit more perspective for it. But map-wise, this is where we're located in the state of Nevada. So we're not really that close to Las Vegas. And as far as coming from Arizona, you're hopping on a 2-hour nonstop flight running over to Reno. So it is very accessible for you. You do have that outdoor adventure type feel. So being so close to the mountains or in a valley, we have the Truckee River that runs through right in the middle of town. It's a really nice place to be. It's kind of comparable to like Flagstaff, putting that into perspective if you've been there in Arizona. The university is a tier 1 research institution. So we do have a lot of research that happens on campus. And what's really wonderful about that is you can engage in research, whether you're a research assistant, you're pursuing your own research as early as your freshman year. That looks really wonderful if you're applying to any professional programs or going on to a master's program, or just in general, you're applying for jobs after your college career. We do have really great things you can engage in and get involved in on campus. So if you're looking for an experience to be in an honors college, so if you're taking AP or IB classes now, honors college might push you a little bit more, be involved and surrounded by other students who are also looking to pursue really a more deeper level of the college experience. We do have that. We do have first generation programs for any students who are going to be the first in their family to graduate from a 4-year program. So if neither of your parents have a 4-year degree, we do have programs that help really acclimate you to the process and really be a student on campus. We want to let you know that you're welcome. You can not only go out of state, but you can also go out of the country. We have a study abroad program. And in general, we have 145 different academic programs. And we are part of the Western Undergraduate Exchange Program. So this is a very large snapshot of what we have, and I'll go a little bit in depth on some of these as well. So the programs that we do have about 12 different colleges. So it really does range in the variety of what we're offering. We do have an engineering program that's ranked nationally top 10%. So we have emphases like mechanical, electrical, environmental, civil. We have mining, metallurgical, material sciences, some really cool things going on. We do also have a nursing program. It's not going to be direct entry. You would come in as a pre-nursing student. On the flip side, kind of moving away from the sciences, we do still have visual and performing arts as well. We do have a musical theater program. We have dance. You can do an art major with us. You can do art history. So we are invested in really both areas, which I think is really awesome if you do have both of those areas of interest, or you want to do some sort of music performance, music composition, but you still maybe do want to do biology or something like that. We can offer that at the same time for you at the university. Keeping in mind, we still have a variety of others. So we have journalism programs, we have education. You can get a social work degree with us, and you can also come in undeclared if you're not quite sure exactly what you want to be studying. And other things we do have on campus is a pre-professional advising program. So regardless of whether you're pre-med, pre-dentistry, pre-law, not a separate application, you come in, declare your major, and you have access to these pre-professional advisors. It's really awesome, makes it really flexible for you, and really study what you want and what you're passionate about while pursuing your future as a professional degree. We do have 250 different clubs on campus, and putting into perspective, we have about 22,000 students on campus. So that kind of places us in the medium size of schools. So not necessarily as large as the biggest university out there. If you might have like maybe like U of A, that's a pretty large school, or not as small as a small private college. So we still have a wide variety of kind of the best of both worlds. We do have the large club fair that happens every fall. A lot of these different organizations host events on campus, so free foods and barbecues that are happening. We are a Division I sports school, so if you go to any of our games at home, you can go to all of them for free. Football, basketball, women's soccer, just to name a few of those. And we do have a student government where you could be a senator for your college, help influence law and policy that's happening on campus, and really just generally represent the university in the Reno community. And if you're looking for jobs or internships, we definitely offer that. So we have an internship fair at least once a semester, and all of these employers have been to campus advertising their positions. And keeping in mind, a lot of these companies actually live in the Reno area. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a travel over from the Silicon Valley. So Tesla, Microsoft, IBM, Panasonic, all have homes within Reno. And keeping in mind, we have a great partnership with our school district in the area. We're really close to Lake Tahoe, so that's really of note if you're looking to get that outdoor experience, that research, work with any nonprofits in that area as well. Reno itself does have 4 seasons. So if you're looking for heat, you kind of like that heat in Arizona, but you also do want to get snow, you want to get a true fall, we can offer all of that for you. Reno does have a small town college feel, being called the biggest little city. You do get the sense that the entire community is really invested in the university. You'll see a lot of community members at our sporting events, at our programs, and in general, still having that larger community feel, still having that access to these big name companies. You kind of do get a big town feel, but in a smaller environment. So if that sounds interesting to you, we'd definitely love to see you, kind of love to have you on campus. That brief snapshot, we do have that Western undergraduate exchange. So if you have a 3.25 cumulative GPA, that can put you on track to save about $12,700 per year. Overall, a quick snapshot of some of those deadlines. I know I'm coming up late on that time. So again, my contact information is there, and please reach out if you do have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shaylor. And last but not least, we have the University of Nevada, Las Vegas.
Awesome, thank you. Let me just pull this up. Awesome. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Peyton. I'm an admissions counselor over at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, so a little bit more south from Reno. So we are a large public university. We have about 31,000 students. We are located right in the heart of Las Vegas, about 1.5 miles off the strip, about 4 minutes from the airport. So we're really right invested in there in the community. So on the screen, you'll see some dots. This is kind of a representation of our campus. So we did just rank #1, tied with a couple other schools for the most diverse campus in the nation. And so we really hold true to that. And we really try to serve our students as best as we can. And so each of these dots, the bigger the dot, the more students we have coming from that area. Most of our students coming from the United States, obviously, and then Southeast Asia as well, but you'll see about 83 other countries represented on this map. So for our majors, we have over 300 undergraduate and graduate majors. About 78 of those are going to be undergrad specific majors. They're all housed within 16 colleges that you'll see listed on the screen right there. You'll notice that all 4 of those images are very hands-on. Our students really get a lot of real-world experience in the classroom. We really try to utilize the resources that we have in the Las Vegas area. We do have a really good business school. We are the only university in Southern Nevada. And so our business students can often graduate with many job offers off the gate because they're not competing against a bunch of other business students in the area. We do have the #1 dental program in the state of Nevada. Additionally, we have the #1 hospitality program in the country. So if you're thinking all hospitality, entertainment, events, you're thinking golf, hotel management, restaurant management, UNLV really has a program for you. We do have a rapid growing medical program, as well as an engineering department as well. And then urban affairs is a really big college for us. That's going to be criminal justice, journalism, communications, really anything to operate a city with. So on the screen, you'll see some of our academic opportunities that we try to present to our students. The first one's going to be study abroad. And so we have, in a typical year, partnerships with about 28 different countries that our students can study abroad in. And if you decide to study abroad, there's tons of scholarships and grants, but any scholarships, financial aid, or grants that you get with the university will travel with you abroad as well. So oftentimes it's the cheapest way for you to study abroad and travel. We have a lot of unique academic programs. So within our engineering college, just to name a few, we have entertainment, engineering, and design, and then entertainment, technology, and design. Those are 2 specific programs that are kind of merging theater arts with engineering. So it's going to be creating sets, creating things for shows, doing a lot of the theater aspects, but also doing the operations part of the engineering. We are a tier 1 research institution as well. So we are performing a lot of research. You can perform it from your freshman year again, but also we have a lot of ties with our student organizations to really participate in research. That picture is one of our engineering departments. Student organizations really working with robotics. And then we do also require internships for almost all of our majors. We try to bring internship fairs to campus to try to have the internships find you rather than you having to find them, as it's a great way for you to kind of try it before you buy it and really get your foot in the door with corporations. We have a lot of opportunities on campus. Traditions are just events that happen, fun things to do on campus. There's always free food, free swag, just a fun time. And so if you ever get to campus, even before, if you're just a prospective student, we always have traditions happening for you as well. We do have about 400 clubs and organizations. And so if you're interested in getting involved in Greek life, or the Pizza Enthusiast Club that tries all the pizza in Las Vegas, or a club associated with your major, we kind of have it all. We are also D1 for athletics, and so you'll get free admissions to all the home games. If you're into football, our football team does play in Allegiant Stadium, which is the NFL stadium that we have here in Las Vegas. So for our general admissions requirements, we are looking for a 3.0 core GPA. And so that's going to be in your English, math, social science, and natural science. And have a 3.0. If you don't have that 3.0, we are test optional and we can take tests. So we're looking for an 1120 SAT or a 22 ACT. And then if you, or if you have an advanced diploma. And then if you decide to transfer to UNLV, we are looking for a 2.5 GPA in 24 or more transferable credits. We are a part of the WUE Scholarship or the Western Undergraduate Exchange. And so for you folks coming from Arizona, your out-of-state tuition will be just about $13,000 if you get the WUE. So for that, we're looking for a 3.25 GPA at graduation. And then additional scholarships will stack on top of that. So that's going to be merit, need-based, or program-specific scholarships can stack on top of that. Priority deadline, we are looking for you to have your application as well as your FAFSA submitted by November 15th for the most amount of scholarships and financial aid. However, we do have rolling admissions, and so if you decide to apply after that, we'll still admit students until about June 1. And then if you're transferring, July 1 is going to be our fall deadline, and then December 1 is going to be our spring deadline. We do offer campus tours since we're not super far from most people in Arizona. If you ever get a chance to come out to our campus, we offer them 2 times a day on Monday through Friday and then 1 time on Saturday. We do spotlight tours as well if you only want to tour your college instead of just the full campus. And then additionally, we do have virtual tours that can happen as well. And then I will drop my information in the chat as well, but that very bottom link is where you can kind of find the admissions counselor. But coming from Arizona, I will be your admissions counselor.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Peyton. If everybody wants to turn on their cameras again, I will ask you some questions just to help our students through this process. And please answer in the same order in which you presented. So the first question I have for y'all is, what is one piece of advice you would give a student going through this process right now?
So the advice that I'm clinging to right now, and it's not just for prospective students, but it's also for my peers and my generation, is to have an eye towards the skills that allow you to pivot. What I mean by that is U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics has these really great research surveys and results that suggest that millennial and Gen Z generations are going to have upwards of 4 to 5 pivots in their job careers across their lifetime. That can be small little things within their industries, or if their industry drastically changes, it could be pivoting to something else. So finding those degree plans and finding those college experiences that allow for you to build up those skill sets in creative problem solving, critical thinking, collaboration, and really staying attuned to how scenes and economies change will really, really help you out at the other side of graduation.
I would say my advice is to follow whatever it is that you love. It doesn't matter who's doing what. If your friends are going for one major and you think you should do it, follow it as what you love, and success will follow you no matter what, because you're passionate about it. So if there's a certain college that you love, there's a certain major that they offer, go for it. Don't do what everyone else does. Do it because you love it.
Wonderful advice from my colleagues. I would add that, if you're on this call and you're first gen and you're struggling through all this, don't sell yourself off short. Aim for the moon and shoot for it, as everybody's saying. And you never know, there's going to be some wonderful colleges out there for you. So don't be intimidated by either price, location, or anything. Follow that heart, follow that passion. You guys will be fine.
Everyone is being really inspirational. I was going to take more of a different approach, which is if you do make a phone call, please leave a voicemail. I find that not a lot of students are leaving voicemails, and I would love to know what your questions are. So all of their advice, and leave a voicemail if you have questions.
Awesome. I ditto all of the above, but I also would just say that you can live anywhere for a few years. And if you decide that you don't like living in any of our states and you want to go back to Arizona, that's always an option, but you'll never know until you try. And so I always encourage students to kind of take a leap, a jump for a few years, try something new and see if it is meant for you. And if not, you can always go back to your comfort zone.
Wonderful. My next question for y'all is, what is just one thing you want students to remember about your campuses?
I'm hoping, I know we reiterated it a bunch in our presentations, but I hope that folks really understand like how neat of an environment it is to study in a really downtown setting, particularly in Seattle, which does have so much support for its arts and artists. But then the interaction between those arts and all of the amazing technology firms that we have in and around. For us at Cornish in particular, we have down in South Lake Union, we have all the Amazon towers, the original headquarters and whatnot. So we're in and amongst those same folks and get to live, work, and play in a really cool environment in that regard.
I would say how student-centered we are. We really are here to make sure you get into the program, you get out of the program. We don't want to just help you find a job. We want you to find a job that you love going to every single day. And we're going to be here from you from day one, as soon as you get into Design Institute until even you're an alumni. And we always have alumni in here looking for opportunities, helping us to hire our students. So we really are here to help guide you through the process and get you that career that you've always dreamed of.
Let's say with Santa Clara, I mean, obviously the location's prime, but I would say innovation with a spin to compassion. So I want students who want to come in here and pay it forward sometimes. So hopefully that's what we'll take from it.
When I was a student, I really loved the sense of community in the Reno area. Like I was describing how integrated Reno is with university. That was really something that shined through when I was a student. And I still see that today, especially in my coworkers, in the staff that I'm working with, and just all the faculty as well. They're really looking to collaborate with everyone kind of all throughout campus, and they want to make sure the students are really successful. So that community is a very key part of the University of Nevada, Reno.
I think I would say to really just understand what the UNLV is. A lot of people get kind of turned off by the fact that we're located in Las Vegas, but just recognize that we are a full campus, a very large institution in a city, and there's a lot of opportunities. There's opportunities at all the schools that are on the screen right now. So really do your research in all the schools and recognize all the opportunities that you have amongst us.
All of your schools sound so awesome. My last question for everybody is, what is one myth about the college admissions process that you would like to bust?
I know the common refrain with these things is like it feels really scary and everything like that. I would just say a myth that you can dispel is like you don't have to do everything across like one evening or another. Most college application portals are set such where you can do some progress, save things, and keep going. So don't feel like you have to just cram it all in one evening and things like that. Like take your time, gather the materials you want and need, and then reach out to those college admissions advisors to have them directly help you in putting together the materials in the way that you feel will then best represent you.
I love that. I have so many students who don't want to call because they're either intimidated or they're scared to take up our time. And I think it's important to realize that we were once in your shoes. We know how the college process works. We know how intimidating it can be and how much work it can be. And we're here to help you and support you and guide you through the process. So please don't be scared to call any of us. Reach out to your admissions counselor, ask them the questions. No question is a dumb question. We're here to make sure that you get to the place that you want to be. And that's our goal for you. So.
That's great advice. Remember, the more questions you have, the more job security we have. So it's a win-win situation for both of us. At the end of the day, the one thing I do tell a lot of students is like, there's many of us who fear that we're not going to get into a school because of everything that we see in media and everything. But reality is that 80% of the institutions in this country admit well over 50% of the applicants that apply to them. So don't let yourself be shut out because of what you're thinking. let your application speak for yourself. And if it's the right school, put your heart into it. Let us know. And then if we email you, respond. That's as simple as it gets. So hopefully that helps.
Really playing off of what Lorenzo just said, I feel like a lot of, whether you're the student or you're a parent listening in, you feel like there's this formula that you have to fill out or you have to match it correctly. Like, do I do a job that's getting paid, or am I doing an unpaid internship? Like, you feel like there's a way to get into certain colleges with certain things. You have to do every sort of club. You have to get A's, like you can get a B or C, like the world is over. And it's really just not true. We're looking at the student, you want to know you individually, you are a unique applicant. So just keep that in mind. You don't have to be the perfect student. There's not a perfect formula. Be true to yourself when you're applying to colleges.
I want to break the myth that out-of-state is more expensive than in-state, because there's endless scholarships out there. And so reach out to us. We have scholarships we want to tell you about. We want to connect you with as much resources as we can. So don't be afraid that out-of-state is way more expensive, because oftentimes, especially with the WUI program, it's not more expensive.
Some great myths that were busted. I know I learned a lot. I hope you did too. Thank you so much for joining us. When you close the window, there'll be a link to a super quick 5-question survey. We would appreciate any feedback you can provide. Thank you for joining us tonight and yesterday, and for all the sessions that were provided. You will be able to find this session's recording as well as all the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Greater Arizona. Thank you, college representatives, for all of your knowledge, and thank you, students, for tuning in. Have a great evening, everybody.